I'm not playing.
Okay. Brunella, kill the sister.
No! God damn it! Don't hurt her!
All right, and welcome to After the Screen podcast. My name's Chris, the independent filmmaker.
I'm Jess, the non-independent filmmaker.
That's right. And if you're new to this channel, we do horror movie reviews and interview creatives in that space. So if you like that stuff, please like and subscribe and comment below because we comment to everything, right?
Yeah, we do. We try our best to comment to everything.
We do. So we appreciate it. And it helps out the channel as well.
Thank y'all.
So what do we have today?
We're doing a movie review on Ready or Not 2. Here I come.
That's right. So we really liked this one. We did love the first Ready or Not. It was such a fresh, unique, and something different kind of take on a movie. But this one doesn't quite hit the same level. But I still feel like, and I think you do too, that it was a fun popcorn, sit back, kind of bloody, chaotic ride. And honestly, I think we felt this was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I agree. It was very entertaining.
All right.
Did not disappoint.
Yeah. So let's talk about it.
So this film basically picks up where Grace left off the previous morning after surviving a brutal game of hide and seek with the Lajamas family. And it shows her in the hospital where she's forced to reconnect with her estranged sister. And then they're forced to basically play the hide and seek game all over again. So these two sisters are basically having to fight and kill their way to survive.
Yeah. Those families, there's now more families involved. They're fighting for the high seat, the power over all of them.
Yeah.
All right. So, one of the things that really drew me to the second one was that I loved the first one. It was so unique, so original, and Samara Weaving was so amazing in that one. And she was coming back in this one. So I was very excited to see what this one's going to be. But this also brought back the guys who directed it, which they named themselves Radio Silence. They also did, like I said, the first one, they did Scream 5, Scream 6, and Abigail. So they've been busy doing a lot of horror movies. And so that helped out a lot. And then the same writers came back as well. But the other thing too, that I really liked about that watching this one, or excited to watch this one, was the cast that they brought for this one. So like I said, Samara Weaving is coming back, and she did an amazing job in the first one. Mm-hmm. But they also added in Catherine Newton, which we like.
Who is one of my favorites.
Is one of your favorites. And we did a review on her in...
We've done a couple of reviews on her, actually.
Yeah, we done a couple of reviews. Yeah. So go check those out as well, because she's done good for herself.
She's done quite a bit.
But also brings some old school people back. So Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Elijah Wood. And Sean Houseity. And actually, David Cronenberg is in this. He plays the head of the whole families. And if you're a horror fan, you know David Cronenberg. I know him from his directing work, from like The Fly, Rabid, The Brood, Scanners. He's done amazing, but he does a lot of acting too. So, so there was a lot of good things that actually did work in this film. Mm-hmm. And the big one for me was Samara Weaving's performance. Now, she, like we said, was in the first one, and she did really well. And in this one, I think, obviously, she continued that amazing performance. She is definitely one of those scream queens out there, I think. She's that final girl, and she has those emotions. She really sells it on her face without even saying anything. I know how she's feeling, because she's had that range of emotions between this one and this one and the last one. So I really enjoyed her performance. Mm-hmm. Agreed.
As well as bringing in Catherine Newton as her sister in this as well. She holds her own right up against Samara. Mm-hmm. And I think they really did play their sisters really, really well. And they were sisters that were estranged. They hadn't seen each other in like 7 years, almost like as much long as the movie's been between movies. And they have to kind of reconcile to survive this, because if they don't get along and work together, they're not going to.
Yeah, they're not going to survive.
They're not going to make it through this movie. So I was, for me, I felt the
connection and the bond.
Connection and the bond with them. Not everybody did, but I enjoyed that, and I think they worked well together, which really helps sell the story. So one thing I felt with this one is I felt like we jumped into it really quickly. We saw her at the end, like the end of the first one. We see her in the hospital, and then they're already ready to get into the game. So I felt like it moved quickly to get to the action. So that worked really well for me as well. And it gets you going on this ride, that which we're all here for. The thing with the ride is, you remember the first one's in a confined house kind of location. This one's on a much bigger scale. It's a resort. So they're just going through this whole resort trying to avoid getting killed, trying to make it till the morning. So with that as well, you get more action. To me, it was faster paced, and it definitely added the campy and comedy in that plays well against the violent parts. So I found myself laughing a little more at this one than I did in the other one.
Yeah, I agree.
And then they did pair the violence and the comedy backed up right against each other, which reminds me of a scene in the movie. It was one of the funnier scenes for me. And it was a scene where they're in this, because there was supposed to be a wedding there, and they have this ballroom. So they kicked everybody out of the wedding. And Samara and another girl, she's tracking her down to kill her. Samara ends up pepper spraying her, but then she ends up gets pepper sprayed herself. So they're in there wildly swinging at each other, like 6 feet apart. Then they run into each other and fall down. Super funny. But at the same time, they juxtapose that against her sister, Faith, getting her butt kicked out in the hallway, really getting her butt kicked out in the hallway. So you're jumping back and forth. Now, a lot of people complained. Some people complained they didn't like that. I thought as a filmmaker, that's what I would be doing. I'd be backing those two up together. So you're laughing, and then you're going out to the other scene of the craziness out there. It really just heightened both of them.
Yeah, I agree. I like that scene a lot. But I also I think what I really enjoyed more about this film than the first one is I feel like, Samara's character, Grace, she had those accidental kills where I really wanted to see her actually start killing people in the first one. So I'm glad for the second one, we got to see the higher body count. We got to see her more aggressive, more angry, more like, I've had it. I am just going to kill whoever gets in my way to basically for us to survive. So,
and I think you would after this is your second time going through.
Yeah, I'd be done. I'd be over it.
Your second day of I am over this kind of thing. So I agree. It is a little higher body count. It's more intense, some more creative kills in there as well. So you're going to get that stuff as well. And you're going to get some of the comedy. Now also it's a bigger cast.
Much bigger cast.
So take that for what you want. Sometimes it might get a little convoluted in the cast, but I think they all kind of brought their little piece to it.
Mm-hmm.
But it could have been a little too much for you because it is a much larger cast and more people are trying to kill her than in the original one.
Yeah.
If you dive deeper, because I like to go deeper in what the film's kind of about. If you dive deeper, you have Sarah Michelle Gellar's and Sean's character. They're brother and sister in this. And he plays a really good villain. It was really, I was getting mad.
Very, very compelling.
Yeah, very compelling. And it made me mad because he was just, beating up on women all over the place. So it was the two women, But then you have Samara and Catherine's, and now they're sisters. So to me, that was the main theme through. It was sibling rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to say that.
Sibling rivalry.
Thank you. I was like, I'm not going to try that again. Let you do that. I think that's where the whole thing, and I think they did it well. If you just watch that through line of those four people after each other, that's the main thing. And all the others are just, fluff and popcorn stuff that are just going to, they're there to die along the way. And then these people, this is the whole through line through it.
They're just the popcorn you throw in the movie
just
theater.
Popcorn. But then it leads up to a much, I know some people haven't liked it, but I found the ending was interesting as well. The way they had to wrap it up for them to survive was interesting way, but it also showed another theme to me, which I like to look at the themes, is how rich people and powerful people, it was just the difference between the haves and the have-nots. And how much rich people, they're just so rich that they just have these games to have things. But this is
their amusement.
Their amusement, and then it's just been a ritual that they worship Satan. But this has been something that's been going on for a long time. But it just shows the difference. All right, so a couple things that didn't work for me, and I think the big one for me through this whole review is, did we need a sequel? that's my whole thing is like, did we need a sequel? Because the first one was so good. It ended, it was satisfactory that how the way it ended. I was like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
happy.
good. It was fun. It was one of my favorite movies of that year. But then we get a sequel. And so
we were a little like, do we see it? Do we not see it?
yeah,
'Cause it was like, sometimes it's like your first one is so good. Then when you back it up with a sequel, you're like, why?
but I argue that this one was a good sequel.
Yeah, I agree.
I really enjoyed this. So that could be a bad for you because it's like, okay, why are we doing this over again? Because the other thing too is it's the same game.
Yeah, there's nothing that's changed.
They're playing hide and seek. It's rich people trying to kill these,
New incoming family members.
new incoming family members. Pretty much, yes, absolutely. The people are going to explode like they did in the first one. You already know they're going to explode in this one. So there's those things you kind of lose that thing.
I think if they hadn't had maybe more characters and backstory, the film wouldn't have worked for me, and probably not you either. But there wasn't really much bad I have to say about it.
Yeah, true. Well, the other thing too, speaking of backstory, is they added a whole bunch of new lore into it. They had to add so much.
All these rules.
A lot of rules, and the rules kept changing. They're like, okay, well, if this person dies, and then you replace it with this person, and then, well, if you do this, you do that, and I'm like, what? Whoa, wait, hey,
yeah, that's where it got a little confusing.
It
too.
got a little like, okay, well, you just feel like you're adding rules sometimes just to keep the story moving forward, kind of thing. So I think for the most part, this was a fun ride. We really enjoyed this. We said we didn't need a sequel, but we got one, but we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the problem was it did feel a little similar at times. We already had the original one and it copied it for that, but we were okay with that. So I think for you out there, what you have to decide is if you like something that feels similar, because it's similar to the first one, then you're going to like this one. And if you like the first one, you're probably going to like this one.
Yes.
But if you need something that is unique and different, and you saw the first one, you didn't like it, then you're probably not going to like this one. So I think that's what you really have to decide. But if you did like that, I think you're going to enjoy it. I think you should go see it in the theater. It's that kind of theater thing. It was fun with all the people that were in the theater,
because they were getting into it.
They were getting into it.
Always like amazing.
Yeah, so that's the fun part of going to the theater is the other people around you and enjoying the ride together. So for my Screaming Smiles recommendation, I'm going to go 3.5 out of 5, which is pretty high for me.
I'm going to go 4.
4.
A 4.
Okay. So, we never
agree.
We barely agree, but we did agree that we did like this one.
Yes.
So, all right. So if you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe. We appreciate that. Like and subscribe below. It helps out the channel a lot. And we respond to all your comments. And tell us what your favorite sequel is. Do you have a favorite sequel? Was it this one? Or is it another horror sequel out there that you like? And we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So thank you again. And until next time.